The entire human race are basically turned into politicians.
Why should I care about you?
No change there then.
I'm with you, Donna. I'm with you. Hi, welcome back to Purple Nurple Reviews. Today I'm going to be watching The Giggle from Doctor Who, the last of the 60th anniversary specials. I watched this last night at like 12:30 at night because I went to go see The Darkness last night, so I couldn't watch it live, so it's a bit emotional afterwards, so let's get into it. Starting off in Soho 1925, into the creepiest toy shop I've ever seen in my entire life. The dolls in the toy maker's shop creeped me out as soon as I started watching them. Gave me chills down my spine. Yeah. Ugh. Those creepy baby dolls. Ugh. Russell, you have made a good job of making this show creepy. Well done. Oh, there's a giggle. Now I get why that's there. Ugh.
I hope the kiddies enjoy him.
I don't know why, but when he wrapped the doll up like that, I was like, why is he in a burrito? It looks like a wrap.
What is he being inventing now?
What has he been inventing now with his eyebrows? And it reminds you later on in the episode when the doctor says his talks are in eyebrows. He's like, oh, what's he inventing now?
What a wonderful, wonderful game.
There's the giggle again. Russell T Davies has made Doctor Who creepy again. And campy. And just all around fantastic.
Everyone started thinking they're right, all the time.
Everyone thinks they're right. Sounds like Twitter to me. But in the real world. We always joke that Twitter is a dumpster fire. This is Twitter in the real world.
I've always been right. Perhaps you will dance avec moi. Sorry, dance.
Toy Megan was like, I'm gonna have a dance with the doctor. Oh, that should have been the first clue to the ending of this episode, because in the Doctor Dances episode, everybody lived. Oh, and there it is again. That da 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 da. Oh my goodness me. Russell weaved that in early, and then we were like, why do we know that tune? So when I heard that tune, I was like, hang on a minute, I know that from somewhere. It was earlier in the episode, so well done, Russell. Saw a meme. It's the 11th Doctor with the TARDIS being flown by helicopter. And what is it about anniversary specials and the TARDIS being flown by helicopter? Here we are at Avengers Tower. I keep saying that Tribunal tried to make Doctor Who Marvelised. Well, this is very Marvelised, but done in a certain way that it doesn't feel like it's trying to be too big. But, I mean, we did have the Valiant back in like season 3, and this feels very Valiant-like.
Kate Lethbridge Stewart.
Did anybody else think that Kate wanted to slap the Doctor when she came out walking like that, and then was surprised when she hugged him?
How do we fight the human race?
Well, the Doctor's fought the human race many times. He's the expert.
Basically, every single human being thinks they're right and won't be told otherwise.
What are you talking about? I am right.
What do I care? I mean, seriously.
I love this moment where they're talking about the government being right. I mean, it's literally what's happening right now. I mean, if you look at Donald Trump in America, he is insistent that he's right. You have the Tories insisting they're right when the majority of the country seem to disagree with a lot of their policies that they're putting in. So yeah, it's oh, I mean, that's politics all over, right? Everybody thinks they're right, even if they are very wrong. And even if they admit that, they're very wrong later on. So the entire human race is basically turned into politicians.
Why should I care about you?
No change there, then.
I'm with you, Donna. I'm with you.
You're completely normal, and that's because of the...
Oh, we call it the CDEX.
The CDEX and the fact that people people are revolting against it. It's so reminiscent of the COVID jab, and people going, "Oh my god, there's 4G chips in here. They're using it to control us." I love Russell T Davies' commentary on the time that we're in right now. It's art imitating life, because this has happened, but with just different technology. So I love the fact that he's commenting on that, because it needs to be said.
And as for her in that chair, I've seen you walk. I've seen you walk.
There's another commentary in here about society right now. People going, "Oh, you're in a wheelchair, but I've seen you walk." And literally what happened, like at the very end of the first of these specials, someone's like, "But she crossed her legs." Yes, but people in a wheelchair, some of them can actually walk, they just need to use it to get around to make their lives a lot easier. A lot of people go, "Oh, it's woke." I'm like, no, it's 2023. We're making people be more aware of certain things. I love how the fact that she was talking about her disability in a negative way was because she was affected by the giggle, and not just some random person who's just hateful. It just shows you that, like, oh, you think you're right, do you? Well, obviously not.
But COSAT is clean. We've checked and double checked. It's not like the old Archangel network.
I love the references to the Master and the Archangel network here, considering that it sounds like we're going to get the Master again very shortly.
Quick version. I travelled the stars. Good old Sablon Blitz. He lived till he was 101. What? Died falling over a whiskey bottle.
Tell me in the comments if the stuff that Melanie's talking about, was that done in any of the audiobooks, or was this just thought of by the writers of this episode? Because I've not listened to any of the audio series, so yeah, let me know.
You've never mentioned her.
Donna, I'm 1 billion years old.
You're 1 billion years old, Doctor? Huh. I think he's just lost track of his age at this point. So he's like, yeah, I'm 1 billion years old. I mean, who knows how old I am, especially with the Timeless Child stuff. So who knows how old he is? I mean, at the beginning of season 9, he was 900, but obviously he lived a lot longer before that because of the Timeless Child, so we don't know that. And then obviously during Capaldi's era, then he was stuck in that maze thing where I can't remember how long that was, but that could have been 1 billion years. So yeah, I think we just lost track of the Doctor's age at this point. Second game, hide and seek. Love that little reference there.
I wondered which one of you heads it was.
Oh god, he is creepy. Neil Patrick Harris, you've done an amazing job at this role. I mean, it's actually fantastic. I keep saying fantastic. I'm channeling the Ninth Doctor here.
After so many years.
Who is he?
The music in this scene really kind of puts you on edge, and it's very effective.
Hide and seek!
Which you've already played with him, and there's the giggle again. Oh! The toy maker reminds me a little bit of the Trickster and Loki in Supernatural. They can manipulate reality and do basically whatever they want, and that's basically what the toy maker is for here. The Trickster is one of my favourite people in the show. I love Richard Speight Jr. I love him.
I cast that sword at the edge of the universe. I played a game and let him in.
So that's where the bad feeling that the Doctor had last episode with the game that he mentioned, with the salt, comes in, and that is how we got the toy maker into this universe. I still don't get it, but you know, it's Doctor Who. Logic doesn't make sense, and the toy maker isn't logical. I am very forgiving with plot things like this. People always trying to look for the scientific explanation. You're like, this is Doctor Who.
Do you like my puppets?
I love this puppet master scene. It is... the visuals on it look awesome.
I thought I was clever. I thought I was clever.
Oh god. David Tennant as a marionette is just the creepiest thing in the world. Look at his face like that. Oh my god. Who's gonna bet somebody's gonna make a David Tennant puppet like this and take it to a photo op with him?
I'm poor wee Sticky Sue.
What is it with dolls and being creepy? No. Donna being attacked by creepy doll babies. No thanks. No thanks.
This show.
When I first saw the Doctor and the Donna being wheeled across on those chairs towards the toy maker, I got Red Dwarf in my head. The Arnold Rimmer song. He's Arnold, Arnold, Arnold Rimmer. My brain goes to weird places.
And he loved pot. Yes, he'd be liking the redheads.
I mean, the Doctor's always wanted to be Ginger, so I guess it makes sense that he wants to travel with Gingers. Having the Doctor relive this, all this stuff with dolls, and then saying, no, I did save them in the end, like in as best of way as I could. But then later on in the episode, they mentioned Adric. I think Adric's the only companion to ever died permanently and not get brought back in any sort of way. So I'm glad they brought Adric up as well, because they go through all of this of like Doctor's companions die.
All the devastation of Logopolis. Adric.
But only one of them in his billions of years has died permanently.
The master was dying and begged for his life with one final game, and when he lost, I sealed him for all eternity inside my gold tooth.
Okay, so this is how we're going to get the master back. He found the master, did a game with him, the master lost, and now he's sealed inside his tooth. But obviously at the end of the episode we get more red painted nails and a hand picking up that tooth. We're going to get him back, or her. Who knows what gender the master will choose next time. Because Missy was probably one of the best masters out there.
The one who waits.
Who's that?
I saw it.
The one who waits. Now who could that be? I mean, we had the girl who waits, which was Amy, and then the boy who waits, which was Rory, but I don't think it would be one of them, because they kind of had their own happy ending. I'm thinking it might be either a new villain or a classic Who villain.
There's no one in London faster on a keyboard.
The Doctor remembers that one key thing about Donna. 100 words per minute.
And there is play. What's that?
I love the Doctor giving the speech and he's like, what's that? It's the Spice Girls. The last time I heard Spice Girls was on The Boys, in a similar kind of silly way that it was used. But however, that didn't really turn out well for a dolphin. This is the greatest show! Does anybody think of The Greatest Showman when he came out to the Spice Girls? Love it. It's so cheesy, but I don't care. Oh my goodness me. Oh, poor Kate. And I love the fact that they have rose petals shooting out of guns. Oh, what a scene.
We can be celestial.
The Time Lord and the Toymaker.
Infinite games.
The Doctor, as per usual, trying to solve the issue without any violence, offering them lifts or travel or whatever. But obviously, a lot of the villains just don't want that.
I have fallen in love with humanity.
He's very master-like, isn't he? And there's a few words in here that's kind of, it's triggering memories from previous Russell T Davies episodes. Being in love with humanity. So like, I think the master told him how much, you know, the Doctor loves humans and things. So it's but now this person has fallen in love with humanity for the wrong reasons.
You make games out of bricks falling upon other bricks. You are exceptional.
I didn't catch that the first time. You make games out of bricks falling on other bricks. Tetris.
One more game!
So the toy maker's the one that kills the 14th Doctor.
It's not dying.
I know. But you're going to be someone else.
It's time.
I love the fact that the companions here, Melanie and Donna, are both just there for him. They're just here to support him.
Alonzi.
I love the fact that his last words were Alonzi and not I don't want to go. He's like saying, let's go.
What's happening?
What is it with David Tennant not being able to regenerate properly? I mean, the first time he regenerated, he had a meta crisis. Then the third time he's regenerating, he's, yeah.
What?
I love everybody else doing what. So it's David starts off with the first what, then Donna, and then the toy maker's like. That's one of David Tennant's catchphrases, and I love that they've just snuck that in there with different people. Oh, Ncuti, the first scene you do it is in your pants. And I mean underwear for the Americans.
How did that happen?
Bi-generation. There's no such thing. Bi-generation is supposed to be a myth, but...
All the myths in Doctor Who turn out not to be myths. It's kind of just a plot device, I guess, but I'm here for it. I mean, this is certainly an interesting direction that Russell has decided to take, and I know he wanted to do something a bit different and special. I love the fact that we get, like, the next Doctor. Not on the very end scene, but, you know, 3/4 of the episode through.
Mel, what do you think?
I think you're beautiful.
Still beautiful.
So he was kind of getting offended at the fact that Mel calls the other one beautiful.
Catch. Of course, before we begin, there is one thing to remember. It's a simple game, really, but I think...
the game of catch, yes, I did think of Friends, just like a lot of other people did. The whole episode all about them playing this game.
Take it to the deepest vault and bind it in salt.
Yes, Mom.
Why are they binding the box in salt? It's not supernatural. Oh, the salt. I get it. Oh my god. Because the Doctor said about the salt, the fact that vampires and ghosts and spirits can't cross the salt. That's what the game the Doctor put at the end of the universe. So if they bind it in salt and he tries to escape, he has to count every last one. I get it now. I didn't get that at first. I was like, why salt? And then I remembered just now. I love how the shirt is strategically covering Ncuti until a burst of wind comes up. And it's like, hello. Like, oh god.
I've got you. Yeah.
The way David Tennant just puts his head on Ncuti's shoulders. And the fact that he's saying he can't save everybody, and the Doctor, he knows that he can't save everybody, but he still wants to. So we have a laugh at the end, but it's not the giggle laugh. It is more like the Master's laugh in The End of Time.
How's it gonna work?
I love how he's just walking around with no trousers on. You know, normally that'd be someone's first reaction when they get home. Like, well, let me go find some trousers to put on.
River Song. Sarah Jane has gone. Can you believe that for a second?
I loved her.
End rules.
Crying?
I'm fine because you fix yourself. Because we're doing rehab out of order.
Doing rehab out of order. Oh. It's a bit emotional.
I stayed in one place and I lived.
Would drive me mad.
When the Doctor said they were driving crazy for staying in the same place all at once, I just think back to when Matt Smith's Doctor tried to stay with Amy and Rory. It's true. And they did sneak off a lot, so yeah.
And I've got to get going. So off you pop, old man.
Oh, you're the old man. You're older than me.
Old man, love it. And there he goes, off to his next adventures.
This species only communicated with their eyebrows. I thought, I can do that.
The Doctor is now basically an old man telling his stories. And it is amazing. I love the fact that the TARDIS is in the garden and it looks a bit like a shed. People aren't going to question it as much.
Who'd have thought? I ended up with a family.
It just reminds me of when Doctor met Donna for the first time in Christmas special and he's like, I don't do family, I don't do Christmas, you know. And now look at him. Russell T Davies is the biggest softie in the world for this episode. He knew that people would be like really sad to see David Tennant go again. So he gave people what they wanted and they didn't even know that they wanted it. Having a happy ending like this, it's very, very, very uncommon in shows these days. I mean, it felt a little bit weird to me because, you know, having watched things like Supernatural and other shows that had, and like Dexter having weird endings or, you know, endings that a lot of people didn't like. To have this as the ending for David Tennant's Doctor, it's kind of refreshing. And I think David Tennant is, you know, being one of the favourite Doctors, Russell T Davies was just like, we need a bit of happiness in life. I'm going to deliver it. Life is crap right now, so I'm going to give people something to smile about. And yeah, I think it was needed. I just feel like saying, Doctor, put on some trousers. And there we have it. The third special for the 60th anniversary. What an episode that was. Oh boy. What can I say about that last episode? Russell T Davies seems to like repeating himself and referring back to stuff that's happened in previous Doctor Who episodes. I don't know if it's intentional or if it's just the way he did it. I don't know if it's a case of just lazy writing, or I don't think it's a criticism because it does work. It's kind of like that little callback. But I know some people might criticise him for going, well, he's just using some of the same things. But I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. We'll see. In terms of the overall episode, it was creepy to begin with, and then it turned very Doctor Who. Had the campness, it had some of the big stuff that we know. It had the regeneration 3/4 of the way through the episode, which was new, and I loved it. I love the fact that Russell's bringing new and old together. So he's brought back an old Doctor of David Tennant, and he's brought a new Doctor, Ncuti, and then he's also got stuff like the campness, like the master style campness with the toy maker, and then he's also got the new things of like new experimenting things of not having the Doctor regenerate in the last ever scene of that episode. There's also more money involved in this. You can see it. It's slightly marvelised, but not in a really bad way. It's just like, that looks like Avengers Tower. Okay, right, move on. So it's not really affected the episode in terms of story. It's not relying on those aspects because they could have easily just not done the helicopter scene if they wanted to save money. It's slightly more polished, but not too much to say that, oh yeah, this is not Doctor Who anymore, which I think was Chibnall's downfall. It has the heart and soul of Doctor Who. Neil Patrick Harris, what an amazing job he did. He creeped the hell out of me. Like his smile and the way he just expressed himself as the toy maker. And then having the creepy dolls on top of that. Yeah. It's definitely an episode not to watch late at night by yourself, which I did. I love the fact that we got some people back, but having them back wasn't the focus of the episode. They were just there to help facilitate the story going along. It wasn't like, oh my god, let's do this and all that, you know, like having Melanie come back for a bit. it brings that, oh, we have someone back, but they're not the main focus of the episode, like when Rose came back in the end of time. This episode felt very natural in the progression of Doctor Who. I don't feel anything was really forced in. There's a couple of lines that maybe I was just like, maybe not. But overall, I found it to be very well written. I personally didn't feel like the music was too loud. I know some people always complain about that with Doctor Who. In fact, I barely even noticed the music was there, and that is what you want on a TV show or even a YouTube video. Because I know when I'm editing my own YouTube videos and there's no music, I feel like something's missing. But when I add music and I'm like, right, I need to get the audio levels right for this, I don't want to overpower myself. So I know the fine detail it takes to get music that's not overpowering but also effective at the same time. Like there's one point in the episode where I did notice the music because it was adding to the creep factor. So I think they've done a very good job with the balance of that. Now, what can I say about Ncuti Gatwa? Seems to be a bit of a flirt. As soon as he regenerated, he started flirting with Melanie. But he's also very confident, and he has not got the emotional trauma baggage from his past generations. So I think we're going to see a very different Doctor when we get to his episodes. It's going to be more of a slightly Matt Smithy, I think, because in Matt Smith's era, he didn't deal with the trauma, he just was being fun and being goofy and, you know. But I think Ncuti's is going to be a little bit like that, but not from hiding trauma, but just from because he's coped with all of that trauma. I think that's where we're going to take this for the next season. It's going to be less angsty, so I'm kind of looking forward to that. Something a bit, I think Russell T Davies wants us to cheer up a little bit, just so we've got something to look forward to. Because life is hard right now for a lot of people. I'm really happy that Russell T Davies had a happy ending with this, and the fact that we didn't get a death. We got new life. I think some people will have an issue with the biogeneration, but I mean, I don't have an issue. I mean, it was kind of like, what? Okay. So that's what they're doing. But for me, a lot of the times when I'm watching a TV show and they write something that's new, I just go, okay, that's it. That's what's in here, unless I really disagree with it. And I didn't find any of that in these last 3 specials. I very much enjoyed these 3 specials, and I am going to miss David Tennant. However, he is around. We could see David Tennant again down the line, because, you know, he's there just in Chiswick chilling with Donna right now. So, or he may just, you know, he might go on an adventure and bump into Ncuti or another Doctor in the far future. So it's kind of paved the way for having an older David Tennant meeting a future Doctor, like 16th, 17th, 18th Doctor down the line, without having to explain why he's aged. And I think this is what Russell T Davies might have in mind. He's like, wow, we always see in like older Doctors come back and, you know, you can't really explain the aging. So he has figured out a way to explain the aging in this episode. And I love that, because he's thinking about the future and getting David back, because he loves him so much. We love him so much. He is the Tom Baker of New Who. Tom Baker was the most popular in Classic Who. David Tennant's the most popular in New Who. Every emotion that you can think of, I think David Tennant's Doctor went through in this episode, and he got to show us his range, and we all know how good of an actor he is. So I love to see it being utilised in Doctor Who in a single episode. I'm sad that the specials are over and David Tennant's small reign as the 14th Doctor is over, but I'm glad that we have another episode this month to look forward to on Christmas Day. I'll be watching it at my sister's house, so I'm not sure when I'll be able to get a review up for that episode, so it might take a few days. So if you want to see more of my content, please press that subscribe button, hit that like button, comment if you want to discuss any of this episode in the comments or anything that I've said, and we can have a nice discussion in the comment thread. And I will see you next time.